You know what I mean? My mama went to school with him. My mama was so scared for me to even be involved with him.
Lil Wayne went all out, suing Birdman for $51 million, calling himself a prisoner, and then, wildly, having his tour bus shot up right in the middle of the chaos. And he wasn't the only one. Juvenile walked away from a quadruple platinum streak, sued Cash Money, and claimed the contracts were so messed up he wouldn't see royalties for years. After decades of alleged mismanagement, unpaid money, and broken promises, rappers across eras are spilling the tea on why Birdman earned so much hate. Let's start with the biggest heartbreak for hip-hop fans, the epic beef between Lil Wayne and Birdman. Wayne met Birdman as a kid in the streets of New Orleans, maybe 9, maybe 11, and Birdman took him under his wing, signing him to Cash Money Records. But this wasn't just any exec. Birdman's name carried serious weight in the streets long before the industry even noticed. Wayne himself shared how his own mom reacted when he signed with Baby.
In New Orleans, you know, that name way before there was rap, before there was a Cash Money Records, that name held weight. You know what I mean? My mama went to school with him. My mama was so scared for me to even be involved with him. You know what I mean? All she would say was like, boy, that boy was 14 with $1 million. Like, ain't nobody, I don't know how you got him. That was 14, I don't know. She was scared of him.
Birdman stepped in as a father figure after Wayne's biological dad left and his stepdad was killed. Their bond was insane, so close that pics of them kissing on the lips circulated, which Birdman called a father-son gesture. Fast forward to 2014 and it all collapsed. Wayne claimed Birdman was holding the Carter V hostage, not paying advances, and keeping him trapped like a prisoner. Remember, Wayne had launched Young Money Entertainment in 2005 as a Cash Money imprint, signing stars like Drake and Nicki Minaj. Cash Money owned 51%, Wayne 49%. Profit sharing on paper, but the seeds for massive drama. On December 4th, 2014, Wayne took to Twitter, "I want off this label and nothing to do with these people. I am a prisoner, and so is my creativity." The culture shook. His manager, Cortez Bryant, even defended him, saying Wayne carried Cash Money on his back for over a decade. By January 2015, Wayne filed a $51 million lawsuit, claiming $8 million owed for Carter V, another $2 million for completing it, plus royalties from Young Money artists. He accused Birdman and Universal of conspiracy, allegedly using Young Money profits to cover Birdman's $70 million debt. And then came April 2015. Wayne's tour bus got shot up in Atlanta. No one was hurt, but police linked the attack to Birdman and Young Thug via phone records. Pee Wee Roscoe, a Thug affiliate, got 10 years, but Birdman and Thug were never charged. Rumor had it, Birdman was eyeing Thug as Wayne's replacement, even before Thug renamed his project from Carter 6 to Barter 6. The beef finally settled in 2018. Wayne got $10 million plus from Universal, control over his music, and freedom from Cash Money. The Carter V dropped in September with 480,000 units. They publicly reconciled, hugs at Club Live, Instagram posts, even an onstage apology at Liliana Fest. But for a while, that father-son bond looked shattered forever. Juvenile. Wayne wasn't the first. Juvenile showed that Cash Money had a history. He dropped classics like 400 Degrees, quadruple platinum, and hits like Ha and Back That Ass Up. Albums The G Code, Project English, and Juve the Great all hit platinum, with Slow Motion topping charts. How did Juvenile even link up with Birdman? He ran into him at a bus stop in New Orleans. Birdman loved his freestyle, connected him to Manny Fresh, and a key factor was Cash Money versus No Limit Records beef. But by the early 2000s, Juvenile bounced over money disputes. He claimed contracts were so poorly handled, he wouldn't see royalties for years. Cash Money allegedly used a criminal lawyer for entertainment deals, contracts botched, filings screwed, artists getting played. Juvenile made it clear it wasn't personal beef, it was business mismanagement, yet he accused Birdman and Slim of benefiting disproportionately, while he, Turk, and BG got screwed. He sued in 2003 for $4 million in unpaid royalties, reportedly settling for $11 million, and publicly vowed to financially punish the label while slamming Birdman's character. Birdman fired back, calling Juvenile a failure and claiming he left threatening voicemails. Drama escalated fast. BG, another Cash Money legend. Signed at 12 alongside an 11-year-old Wayne, he gave us Bling Bling, literally adding a word to the dictionary. Albums Chopper City and the Ghetto defined the late 90s, helping Cash Money lock a $30 million Universal distribution deal in 1998. But BG left in the early 2000s over money disputes, claiming he got nothing for around 80 records, never seeing royalties for pre-1998 albums. In 2001, Juvenile, BG, and Turk all exited amid shady accounting claims, suing and settling by 2003, but resentment lingered. BG spent over a decade in prison. In 2009, arrest, 14-year sentence. In 2012, served 11 years. He felt unsupported by the label, fueling old wounds. Yet Birdman greeted him upon release with a Cash Money chain and allegedly $1 million. Even then, BG dropped a diss track in January 2024 on Finesse 2 Times Gangsterfied, dissing Wayne for not sending money while he was locked up. But surprisingly, Birdman forgave him.
And I know Birdman. I know him.
Man, Birdman raised me, bro. You heard me? You know what I'm
I
saying?
love that.
Like, you know, that's like a father figure to me. You know what I'm saying? Him and Slim. You know what I mean? I got the utmost love for him.
I love that.
Respect for him. Like.
BG opened up about how he zones out in the booth when emotions hit, just venting from the heart. And Birdman gets it, because their history runs deep. BG even talked about how his mom's house doubled as a stash spot in the 80s. These guys go way back. Now, if we're talking outspoken Cash Money vets, you cannot skip Hot Boy Turk. This man has been clashing with Birdman and even his former Hot Boys for years, and unlike BG, his story with Cash Money is far from over. Turk was discovered by Birdman at 13, joining the Hot Boys alongside Wayne, BG, and Juvenile. Their debut, Get It How You Live, 1997, sold 400K, and Guerrilla Warfare, 1999, topped the R&B hip-hop chart, hitting number 5 on the Billboard 200. But by 2003, Turk left with Juvenile and BG over unpaid royalties, claiming zero compensation for around 80 records. Turk then spent almost a decade in prison after a 2004 drug raid SWAT shootout, sentenced to 14 years, serving nearly 9. And when he got out, Birdman didn't even acknowledge his release, unlike BG, who came home to a chain and allegedly $1 million. That silence, it spoke volumes. In 2015, Turk sued Cash Money for music rights and damages over $1 million, citing void contracts from bad accounting. Case settled at $1.3 million, which he later called severance without publishing rights. He briefly re-signed in 2016, but it went nowhere. The real fireworks? Hot Boys reunion attempts. Turk was supposed to join the 2025 30th anniversary tour, but things blew up when he refused a pay cut.
So you expect me to take a pay cut in the next city on top of taking a loss? You feel me? That I ain't getting none of my back end? Nah, I need all my money when we go to Cleveland. You feel me? Once I said that, I thought everything was cool, understood, but they had a cake bake for me, I guess. That's what they think. 4 o'clock in the morning, they send my manager an email saying that I'm terminated. You know, that I was a security threat.
And Turk called that whole security threat excuse out as cap.
Was this the first time you were hearing about a security
threat? Yeah,
risk?
because where was our security threat before when you offered me to take less of my money?
At the Cash Money versus No Limit Versus in October 2025, Birdman publicly called Turk a little, saying, "We go with you when we want to." Turk, watching from home, hosting his own watch party because he wasn't invited. Turk even clowned BG, calling him anti-BG and mocking his outfit from the verse. The drama escalated. Turk sued promoters for $300K and they countersued for $12 million, alleging he sabotaged the tour. And this, far from over.
So Ace said one thing he respects about Birdman is the hustle, and that's one thing everybody has got to respect about Birdman. Can't nobody say they out-hustle Birdman from the very start. Hey, we know what he allegedly did back in his teens and stuff like that. He was outside in them streets, all of that stuff. Been documented and confirmed, you feel me? Now, fast forward, he built Cash Money from the ground up with his brother, had a bunch of local artists and made them national artists. He took those national artists and made them global superstars. We're talking about Wayne, Drake, Nicki Minaj, Juvenile, BG, Turk, the Hot Boys. Manny Fresh made him one of the greatest producers of all time.
At 48, Gilly frames it as family and legacy over drama. Even with major issues, he admits Birdman's business acumen is undeniable. Pusha T. Over 20 years of simmering tension, Pusha T versus Birdman/Cash Money started in 2002 when Birdman allegedly didn't pay the Neptunes for What Happened to That Boy, which Pusha T took personally due to connections with Pharrell. Drama escalated with Lil Wayne wearing Bape, style linked to Pusha's circle. Clips dropped Mr. Me Too in 2006, calling out Wayne's style appropriation. Wayne dismissed it in a Complex interview. By 2012, Pusha T's Exodus 23-1 attacked Cash Money's nested contracts, Birdman's oversight, Young Money, Universal. Wayne responded on Twitter. Pusha dropped diss tracks. Even in 2025, Pusha T was still throwing shots, referencing Drake's lawsuit against Universal. 2 decades of consistent smoke. He told GQ the lawsuit cheapens rap battles. Rick Ross. Ross and Birdman were tight, recorded the H-Back together 2008, released 2013. But Ross lost respect watching Wayne's public treatment. In 2015, Ross shaded Cash Money on Color Money. 2016, Snapchat shots mocking a potential Wayne-Birdman reunion. March 2017, Ross released Idols Become Rivals, calling out Birdman for allegedly not paying Wayne while praising Birdman's early influence. Ross pushed for producers to get paid too. Birdman shrugged, saying to Billboard, "Numbers don't lie, that's all I care about." In fall 2017, tensions peaked with Birdman's 10-minute rant. Ross fired back, "Boy, you a year late. Pay that man Lil Wayne his money." Tyga jumped onto Money Entertainment back in 2008, dropping hits like Rack City, which went quadruple platinum and peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. His major label albums, Careless World, Rise of the Last King 2012, and Hotel California 2013, brought in cash, but also racked up costs, which later became central to his dispute with Cash Money. By October 2014, Tyga was publicly venting that Cash Money was holding the Gold album, 18th Dynasty, hostage. On Twitter, he wrote, "Gold album been done, my album been done, but my label holding me hostage, so I can't release nothing." This was during the same wave of Young Money, Cash Money drama that had Lil Wayne fighting for Carter V. Birdman responded in an XXL interview, calling it not cool, but staying neutral, not attacking Tyga directly. By 2015, Tyga left Cash Money and released the album independently on Last Kings Records.
In 2017, on The Breakfast Club, Tyga claimed he was owed $12 to $15 million, including royalties for Rack City and other tracks. He held off suing immediately, saying he wanted Wayne's case resolved first. "I'm in a position where I just want Wayne to get what he's owed." In August 2018, Tyga filed a lawsuit against Birdman, Lil Wayne, Cash Money, and Young Money for breach of contract. Initial reports said $1 million, but documents revealed claims jumped to $10 million, focusing on royalties from Careless World, Hotel California, and singles like Faded and Make It Nasty. Birdman fired back, claiming Tyga owed Cash Money for unrecouped advances, providing statements showing his royalty account was heavily unrecovered. This completely flipped the narrative. Negotiations failed, and by April 2019, Tyga voluntarily dropped the lawsuit without a settlement. The case closed without prejudice, and no major escalations have happened since. Although in 2022, Birdman revisited the claims, disputing Tyga's $12 million assertion. NBA Youngboy. Finally, let's talk about the most recent drama, NBA YoungBoy. This Baton Rouge rapper was taken under Birdman's wing around 2018. Birdman called him the biggest rapper and potential billion-dollar artist, comparing him to Lil Wayne. They dropped a joint project, From the Bayou 2021, blending their Louisiana roots. Warnings came early. On his 2020 track Multiple Flows with Lil Uzi Vert, Wayne subtly advised YoungBoy, "Watch out for old head," a nod to Birdman's history of financial disputes with artists. Tension escalated in June 2024 with YoungBoy's Tears of War, recorded before a police raid in April. Lyrics hinted at betrayal, "Knew that Stunna never loved me," referencing Birdman, and nods to Carter as Wayne's warning. He also called out Floyd Mayweather and deceptive figures in his circle. Fans were split on Reddit. Some called it fire, others noted it wasn't a full-on diss, just targeted shots amid a regular YoungBoy track. But by mid-2025, things turned around. In August, YoungBoy and Birdman reunited in New Orleans, YoungBoy wearing a bulletproof vest, tossing money to locals alongside Birdman. By September, Birdman joined YoungBoy's Make America Slime Again tour, saying, "I'm not about to let my little bro miss out on money." The tour grossed over $70 million. October brought their first live performance of 100 Rounds and a new collab featuring Herm Thaw Black Sheep. At the Cash Money vs. No Limit Versus, Birdman gave YoungBoy a shout-out. "As long as I'm alive, Cash Money ain't never gonna die. Shout out NBA YoungBoy, Rich Ganga." Birdman even predicted a $200 to $300 million deal for YoungBoy, affirming his unique talent. This one seems settled, for now. But YoungBoy's journey, from feeling betrayed to reuniting with Birdman, shows the repeating pattern with Cash Money and its artists. And that brings us to the end of this video. For more wild stories like this, click on the cards on your screen.